Forsaken, abandoned to the dark, what choice but to follow the flame? To seize the world with this fire is to see it burn first.
Welcome on back, everyone, to Total War Warhammer 3 in part 3 of our Astragoth Ironhand Immortal Empires campaign. In today's episode, we are here with the boys to take the challenge stone and turn it into a right proper challenge tower. So for our kind of setup, we've got a little bit of a mixed checkerboard for the initial, where we've got our goblin laborers up front to catch arrows with their heads or any other parts of their body. We've got orc laborers, which I think these guys have bonus versus gates. Well, I kind of hope they do. In fact, I wouldn't mind them changing it, since these guys have pickaxes. Make the orc laborers have a bonus versus gates similar to the miners. So they're really terrible. They're going to have really low armor, but they're kind of like a miner style unit. I think that'd be great. Anyway, we've got blunderbusses and archers behind them with Chaos. I think we've got a jitter around behind because we've sat here for so long. We've got the Chaos Dwarf warriors on behind them as well. I've got these hobgoblin sneaky gits over to sneak up on top of the walls and maybe give our lads some support. They can get up on the walls from here and then run their way on over and stab some guys in the backs, throw some poison daggers. Should be a lot of fun. Then we've got Uglacon's wolf boys. I'm actually going to deploy them a little bit further over here. That way they shouldn't be in range of towers off the bat. And if they are, they're going to have a really, really bad day. Because while Uglacon's wolf boys are awesome, they are still a hobgoblin and a wolf cavalry. So they've got low armor, very small shields. They look amazing, though. In fact, I cannot wait for a proper... who knows how long it's going to be, but for a proper hobgoblin... Probably mini faction, but still. Hobgoblin faction all the same. So these guys are going to have fire arrows, and they're going to add the flammable effect to anyone they shoot, giving them a weakness to fire of plus 20%, which is pretty nasty on top of all of the other fire damage that we should be doing with the fire dwarves. They've also got the cowardly to spoilers trait, so as long as they're attacking in the flank or the rear, they're getting even more damage, so you definitely don't want to directly charge these into anyone's front. You won't be getting nearly the same amount of damage. They've also got the Pelt of a Wolfag, which is going to give them, or I guess drop enemy speed as long as they are routing or broken. Yeah, so as long as they're routing or broken, they will have way less speed, allowing Oglacons to round up as many servants for the Chaos Dwarves as they can, but they're going to be kind of a distraction off the bat here. Hold them even further back if we can, that way they're not getting shot up. Very low armor. Reinforcements coming in over from this side, so we'll have them streaming on over the walls after Astragoth's squad does as much damage as possible. So let's grab the main characters. I guess at this point, Oglacons is one of the main characters, aren't they? Oglacons, you can join up with the Sneaky Gits, our infantry, and then the Missile Boys. Let's do it. In fact, actually, I had everyone back here for just part of the initial, so look at you back up in the air there, Red Bull. And I'm going to have Astragoth and Kevin, who we have now named... Thank you so much, by the way, for all of the name suggestions, but we have named him to Kevin Beefy Champion. But if you have any other name suggestions for kind of future Taruks or Lords or Heroes or any other kind of units, please go ahead and put those in the comments back on the first video if you can. That way I can keep them all in one spot and I can better kind of keep track of them. Otherwise, I am prone to lose those names and they take some a little bit longer to get them added on in. But again, thanks. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright, so fighting Chaos is always a bit spooky. Let's get everyone moving on forward. We do want to have Astragoth on the Taruk attack the gates. We'll probably have Astragoth hit the gates first, though. I don't think the Taruk gets any kind of specials. No. Alright, so they are preparing for my sneaky gits, which is fine. We'll just leave them there for a second. Same thing with the Oglas. They're not getting shot at, so we don't have to worry about them. If they had that little arrow symbol, we'd be running for the hills. Great Bull, you come on over this way. Renders, how good are you at getting through the gates? They have siege attackers, so let's send them on in. Siege attacker units don't tend to be that effective, but I think that's by design. Right, so let's go ahead and bring everyone up to the walls. All they have really is that lord that is able to get to the gates themselves. Oh, really? How are they? I guess they're trying to fire through the gates at Astragoth. Looks like someone hit him, which is quite surprising. And if we really need to, we can start sending up our goblins to the walls and have them capture the towers or keep these Chaos Warriors bogged down for a moment. We would just lose them in droves. Does have a unit of Dragon Ogres, so once we're through the gates, it's going to be a little bit of a fight for sure. keeping the 2 heroes on this side, which I think is perfect for us. They're really concerned about what's come on in here, though. Alright, archers, before you do start blasting, Akazaz advance to about here. They're going to keep falling back. We need our archers to tear apart these Marauder Horsemen first. They've got pretty low armor, and we should be able to take down multiple models per volley. But if they focus on this lord here, we're not going to get nearly as much. Take you guys off of fire at will so we're not wasting shots. Get through the gates pretty quickly. Reinforcements are here, so now we can start streaming over the walls with all of the new servants that have just arrived. Get them all as one big group. Our lord can join back up with the main characters, so let's just send them on in. We'll have them all attack this side here. Move up and go after those gates in melee. I'm going to send the hobgoblins, or just the goblin laborers up here. All the other goblin laborers go ahead and stand up front. The orcs can be right behind them. We'll send 1 unit in to help out with the gates. Alright, over on this side, how are things looking? Really, nothing has changed. We could be nice and cheeky. Drop the Ash Storm, and now they're just going to run. Those trolls are thinking about it. As soon as the gates go down, it looks like the trolls are going to come through, so let's go ahead and have you come out. Astragoth can stay there. He's a pretty tanky unit. I'm really surprised they're keeping all the Chaos Warriors back. So much so. I would like to deploy to the walls, but I think then they'll send the Chaos Lord up there. Baruch plus Astragoth. I think we'll go ahead and have. There's no real reason to move in because they're not leaving the area. They know these guys are over here being sneaky. They're just not going to. They're not going to reveal if they know it. Bring Ogla Khan's Wolf Boys in. All right, Astragoth, you guys are through the gates. Who's up front here? Just some trolls and then the Marauder Horsemen behind. Akazaz, can you guys start working on the Horsemen? That'd be just glorious. Let's send in the 3 heroes. We can have them work as a group to jump these trolls. Increase the skills of Kevin. Have the Hobgoblin come in. Go after the Lord. Alright, other archers, can you guys fire on these horse archers? We'll deal with the horse archers first. Would land on in here from behind. Red Bull has an opportunity to rampage, which we really don't want, but... And that's a Chaos Lord getting clapped. Love to see it. In fact, let's go ahead and slow everyone here. Weaken them to fire damage. That group got annihilated. Archers, if you could start firing on the Marauders with great weapons, that would also be perfect. We're going to go ahead and send the Goblins on in. The secondary group of trolls wanting to fight. Let's get the Red Bull back up in the air. It's better on the charge. All of our Hobgoblins now are going to fire on these Dragon Ogres instead. Red Bull, come on away. Go this way if you can. Start sending in. We've got the 1 unit of goblins. Let's go ahead and have these laborers take the walls. And the orcs take the walls as well. We don't really care so much if they're tired. Back on the other side. Wanted to start dropping spear leeches. We're absolutely going to. Alright, bring the goblins over. We'll start bringing a few more goblins up, kind of the same or different sets of ladders. Deploy the butt ladders, lads. We's Grum's boys. Our archers are kind of up in a weird way, so let's pull you guys back just a bit there. Our Red Bull, if I should, is getting absolutely annihilated, but I can't really get it out of combat. Activate your abilities there. Finally managed to pull it on away. Come on, Red Bull. You're out. We're not going to be able to use you later. So let's get all of our archers back in fire at will. I don't really mind who they shoot at this point. Shotguns. We need you up on the walls. But we need to do so in a way that we're not getting punished by these marauders coming on in, so works. I thought I asked you to get up on the walls. I decided not to deploy the ladders, I guess. surround and destroy these marauders on the back. I'm gonna have our Red Bull come over here after this tower. Over on the other side, the goblins are starting to get run up on. We'll have them kind of stop. 3 units of marauder or goblins should be able to overwhelm 1 unit of marauders. They'll get through the gates, at least slowly. We can't really leave Astragoth's team that effectively right now. Kevin, go ahead and... oh, he's gonna get taken out. Fall back, Kevin. We've got reinforcements on the way. Archers, if you can fire on the trolls, which have the weakness. I'd love to bring my shotguns forward. Getting them inside the walls to use, though, is going to be tough. Yeah, Kevin's going to flee. Thankfully, he's not getting taken out. Astrogoth, you come on away just a little bit here. Full Centaur renders. You're going to have to turn. This does stink indeed. In the boys. These shotguns not going to be as effective. We've got Astrogoth. Go ahead and charge back in here. Let's go ahead and give the renders a bit of help. Yep, like I thought, those 3 units should be winning pretty effectively. We'll send up the rest of the orcs up on the walls. We are through the gates, so send them on in. Back over here with Astrogoth's team, where most of them boys have gotten a pretty severe beating. Alright, that's a tower down. Send in the goblin laborers. We just need some lads to bog them down for a moment. Can I get my Chaos Dwarf great weapons in there? I would like the shotguns to get up on top of the walls. Get up, Astrogoth. Let's keep buffing up these renders. They've taken quite a bit of damage. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're just actually going to grab this whole group here, lock them forward, and just send them into combat. Oglicons, since we are through the gates, go ahead and come up and capture this zone. Our Lord can go with them. Most of the enemies on this side have finally been broken. We've taken quite a few casualties on the way in, though. Rook. Save your kind there. Let's bring in the hobgoblins. Looks like a couple of them got up into melee. Or maybe they got taken out by some tower shots. I'm not sure. Shotguns, get up on the walls. And from here we should be able to push our way through. Red Bull knocked out that tower pretty quickly. Come over here after this one. Boys look to be incredibly confused, but thankfully we do have the hero, or I guess the Lord and the ROR unit to deal with that. We're going to bring them on back. I'm going to also activate up our abilities here with you. Kevin, you need to fall back. Astrogoth, you go after the Dragon Ogres. Orc Laborers, you help out there. Gale Stores, you get the Trolls. That should cut through their armor pretty quickly. Our missiles aren't being super useful. Let's bring them on inside the walls here. Goblin Laborers, can we send you guys round to maybe chase those trolls? We'll see if they survive. Everyone stay here. Astrogoth, you come in with our sneaky backstabber to give this hero the old shiv. We've broken this side of their defenses. The other side's dealing with overwhelming tides of hobgoblins. However, we're all kind of mixed up here, so let's get all the hobgoblins, I guess, working on the same unit on top of the walls. That zone's been captured pretty quickly. Go ahead and bring Oglicon's boys around. Renders work here. It's just our horde chasing them through the streets now. They're all shattered. They're not coming back. Except for these trolls. Let's go ahead and give them the attack order there. We'll have the Red Bull chase off these marauders. Oglicons get up to this position. Every time we have you fire on the horsemen, you should win that duel pretty effectively. Goblins, come on back. Alright, shotguns. Let's have you boys come on around if we can. Cutthroats are throwing their daggers down there at that troll. The hero is having the worst day. Alright, so Astragoth, we're going to send you up towards the next Exalted Hero then. As our horde of laborers and Chaos Dwarves continues to pour through. I'm not sure if they got bogged down or what happened there. You're completely out of magics though. Red Bull, come on away. How's the fight going on the walls? You could actually get a nice slow-mo shot, because there's a lot going on here on both sides of the battlefield. Laborers and marauders dying in droves together on these walls. As always, more besides. They do have 2 whole units kind of left over that we can skirmish with. I don't know if we're even going to really get the chance. Is that a slow-mo? Bring the sneaky gits down and have them start skirmishing. They're throwing those daggers as far as they can. Really maxing out their little green arms. Alright, so this Exalted Hero is broken. Keep moving on, Deathball. We're gonna have the archers kind of advance on. We'll just have them capture the zone. Shotguns take care of anyone trying to move in on them. And we've got them through army losses. Most of the casualties and the damage going to our single entities and to the where my renders at. They took quite a few losses here, but Golden Sword goes to the renders? Well, actually, probably not. Let's go find out. Alright, decisive victory thanks to the thick hides of our Lord's heroes and that ward save. I mean, the renders are up here already up to gold chevrons, so they are doing fantastically. Our Red Bull of the Shit also doing great with the silver chevrons. Awesome. Beautiful stuff. 279 servants gained from the fighting. Welcome to the workforce, lads. Ooh, the sack there's for 1,000 labor. I mean, raising it gives us even more goodies. Would allow us to upgrade both of our towers we currently have. Ooh, that's a tough call. We're gonna go ahead and sack it for the labor. And then we'll have Bruce come on in and simply claim it as a tower. Our 3rd tower has been raised. It is no longer the challenge stone. Heralds of the Tempest are no more, which is a very important enemy defeated, although it's making Zatan mad at us. Apparently Zatan liked Heralds of the Tempest quite a bit. Oh, maybe not anymore. Hang on. How does Zatan feel about us? Yes, what I thought. Oh, never mind. So we're mad at him about his... I don't know, I'm all mixed up. Before the episode, I kind of looked over to see how Zatan was feeling about us, and he was not happy that we were fighting against the Heralds of the Tempest, but I guess he is since no longer cares about them, which is good. The Chaos Dwarves ignoring their own? Never. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and chuck in the donation barrel here. Only going to cost 250 of our overall resources. And then we can go for the Fane Guard as well, since I don't plan on really staying here. We're going to kind of just set up defenses and then turn around and head back into the mountains. Alright, cool. So that just delays Uzkalok being upgraded by a little bit. We need to get to 2,000 to get the battlements up and running. Getting higher tier mines would be good now that we actually can afford the workload. We're just not going to get too wasteful with it. We have a little bit more gold left. I think we can go ahead and spend that on the locked stores. And then we can go ahead and generate a little bit more conclave influence here. Beautiful. We probably also can at the Ice Viewer too. We can get a lot of servants there. We'll go ahead and have some sacrifices for Nagrund. Rushing construction here for 300 is not really worth it, so we'll just go ahead and hold off there. Extra labor here for the Chimera Plateau. I'm thinking we should start bringing them in now. That way we're not stacking up too much labor in one spot. We just don't want to get too hasty with how much we're spending. I mean, we're closing in on getting access to the final, I guess, industry district, which will give us more raw materials output and armaments output. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this one if no one else does. It seems like the AI is either saving theirs to steal one of our slots, or they're just not remembering that the Tower of Zar exists. Because even though we have been sending lots of stuff back to Nagrund, they should have at least had a single seat by now. So I'm guessing that everyone's trying to be a snake. We'll go ahead and give him... Oh, I didn't save up like I usually do. We'll grab Basalt Body for more minimum power reserve. Or I guess 10 more minimum and then 3 more power reserve per turn. Basalt Body. He is a rocky boy. A little more training here for Kevin, the champion. What does Fated give us? Ward save, and then Vanguard deployment for Gordas and all Hobgoblins. As well as Stock. I'm sorry, Stock? And I completely forgotten how good Gordas was. The first best legendary hero. We'll go ahead and get more poison to shoot him, though. 33% more ammunition. And 15% more weapon strength. Because we're really just using the Hobgoblins as archers right now. So, Astragoth, will have you jump back into March stance. We're just going to get aggressive towards Grimgore. We do know he has a Wa going right now. But if we can cut and cull some of these Was in these choke point areas, or the Wa armies that is, that's going to be a lot of labor coming on in, and a lot for our economy. He could just decide to go straight past me, or past my armies, that is, and go after my settlements itself, and that'd be a huge issue, because we don't really have that many defenses back on the home front. So we might want to circle back around with one of the armies, so we have Bruce moving back towards Saber Mountain, kind of block off these two passes, and then Astragoth and maybe another hero or lord can come on down through these passes, because we got Grutter the Troll Leader, which he and Draug have very few few units in their army. Also notice there's some kind of strange factions here. Is Clark Haran normally in the mountains? You're at Black Fang? I don't think so. This is normally a ogre faction, is it not? There's a couple of weird ones. Clark Haran being over here. Helheim I don't think is this high up in the mountains. I think this is held by one of the different Dawi factions, so that could be the OVN Lost World kind of switching up where some of the factions are. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, though, we do now have enough Hellforge Armory stock to get us some more renders. We're just going to do that right away. That also gives us access to our Bull Centaur manufactory, so we give them all Murderous Charge. It's going to cost 12 armaments per turn. Man, that is so good. We only have one unit, and this would already make them incredible. So if you've ever used the Khorne Arwar, what are they called? The Knights of the Brazen Throne. They've got the cool black and gold armor scheme for the... They've got dual axes. They're Chosen of Khorne on Juggernaut. They're awesome looking units. But they charge very aggressively. Bruce. Probably just the... Is there anything else in the blue line that's super good? Unbridled Cruelty gives him 10% less upkeep. Actually, that's pretty fantastic. That is pretty fantastic. But also making sure all of the laborers he's got fight harder is pretty good too. So 2 more leadership up to melee defense, so 6 of each. Yeah, I mean, those are all useful. Let's go just grab a Spirit Leech, that way we can zap heroes. Very, very important for... I keep thinking I can use Kaizik. Hello there, Kaizik. Kaizik. Melded to his Rot Beast. Well, the good news is we did manage to snake that from Tamarkon. I think we will eventually probably start fighting with Tamarkon. Unless we can get a good treaty with them and maybe get them under vassalage. I just don't think Tamarkon wants to serve. Fighting him before he has the Toad Dragon is probably going to be important if we decide to do that. We do want a few allies, because some of their units can be useful as fodder. That's making us 100 armaments, but it's using a lot more of our materials. We need materials right now more than armaments, so we'll go ahead and just wait on that one. Rushing construction here for 400 would then ruin our opportunities to actually have any of the servants working, so we'll not do that as well. Let's skip on through and we'll end the turn here. See how good old Grimgore responds.
Orkiskoof, dat skatsal konver fatrathjar. These carts Hashut's
Orc scum dare to ambush a convoy of the Drathzar. I'll bring Hashut's wrath upon them. Fellow Dawizar is being hindered by an enemy whose lands prove stubborn and defiant to conquest. This is a problem we can easily rectify. rally your armies at once. We need to go capture and occupy a settlement belonging to an enemy of the surface of the Conclave, which right now is only the Bloody Hands. Love to think about it. And now for the army, or the Battle of the Black Hammer of the Shut. We definitely want at least 1 or 2 artillery teams for this battle. We've gotten to see it over with the, way back when they did the Chaos Dwarf kind of first look, they showed off. The battle is actually a defense battle where you're kind of protecting a train moving along a track. So while Astragoth remains the most powerful of the Conclave of Sorcerers who rule Zarnagron in Hushut's name, he is not immune to its machinations. Thus, it is Astragoth's legion that has been charged with guarding and ensuring the safety of a precious convoy train. Should the convoy be lost, then the aging Astragoth could suffer an irreversible loss in status amongst his peers. Protecting it should be no small feat. The convoy must travel along one of the most perilous routes through the Darklands. We'll get 5,000 treasury, replenishment, the Black Hammer of the Shut, which has an amazing ability, giving you that flammable imbuement, making everyone you come in contact with weak to fire, which most of your army is going to be dealing. And then you'll have more weapon damage and more armor-piercing weapon damage too. More control for all your provinces and 15% more weapon strength. And then 75 Conclave influence just for a nice free slot. For a nice free seat, that is. 3 turns before we get more. I am tempted to rush this. Well, this one is done as well now, so we're making up to 550 materials and 70 armaments, which is pretty nice. It's not bad at all. I actually don't mind. We'd only be spending 12. Let's come on in here then and get our renders. That bound demon of murder. All in the path of this murderous rampage will have a little chance to react before being trampled into a fine red mist. I agree. Let's go ahead and apply that. Taking 12 off, we're getting it around what we were before. So that sounds pretty good to me. We'll be able to get another unit of renders in how many turns here? 375 is what we're waiting for. I'm just going to go all in on getting it probably up to about 4 renders. Giving them access to devastating flanker as well as murderous charge is just ridiculous. So sending sacrifices back to Zarnagron would not get us what we need. We probably just go for gold this time around. Control looks to be fine as well. Here, not on SFO, control is not nearly as impactful. So when we get it up to max, or as we get it closer to max, all it's going to do is hurt control overall, give us more line of sight, drop recruitment cost by a little bit, and then minimize how much labor we're going to lose to accidents every turn. Alright, Grutter. I very much want to come fight you. I just know the AI's tendencies to ignore your armies and go after your small settlements, even the likes of Grimgor. And a fully wad up Grimgor is not something we really want to fight that badly. We could use Bruce as a good old distraction and a little bit of bait here, so let's go up to Ice Viewer. We want to, as he says, we'll crush them all. We want to crush him before he manages to build up too much. So let's bring Astragoth up. Sneaky, sneaky boy. Excuse me. Alright, back just a little bit there. We just want you to be out in the open and kind of nice and exposed. Waddle, indeed. There we go. A bit more like that. Now, when do we get our next ROR? Blazing Beards of Bazarok at rank 13. These guys are great. They have a little bit of a hand grenade going on, and they have Frenzy, which makes their melee stats much scarier than they appear. So this 38 is 48 until they lose half of their leadership. Which is fantastic, as you'd expect. Great Taurus, blunderbusses, all of these things are good. We want renders, though. Okay. In the meantime, one more turn and we can upgrade Uzkalok, which we definitely are going to want to do. We can take 1250 to upgrade the production plant there, so I think we're going to sit on our resources and do nothing. Challenge Stone wants our stuff as well. Interestingly enough, I'm guessing the OVN, I don't know if the OVN Lost World got rid of the salt that was at Blizzard Peak originally, but there's no longer salt there now. Gold, which is not good, because salt's actually a really, really fantastic resource for most of the factions that get extra benefits from different resources. So we'll just let them sit how they are. That's pretty much all we're gonna do this turn. Let's check diplomacy just real fast. See if we can't get any good deals with the Warhost. We can with the Jagged Horn tribe, but they have no gold. So that's weird. They're down here in Cafe. And they're also up here in Kadatha. And I didn't realize that the Beastmen could trade. Beastmen can trade? What you want? I didn't know you guys knew how to trade. The Goramadnyar. Let's just check anyone who wants to trade with us. Only the Jagged Horn if we get the non-aggression with him first. I mean, as weird as that is, they approve of trees of the Maggot Host. Yeah, I mean, I guess we gotta stick together with the beasts for the time being. What we'll likely do... Well, that's not very much gold. But at the same time, it's more gold than we had previously, so we're gonna go ahead and take the trade agreement with the beast, which is bizarre. Thank you, Datsu. I'm sure they're bringing us all sorts of... I guess they could bring us servants and extra labor. It's a trade agreement. It's the trading places. So who else will war with you? Elhine and the Blood Guzzlers. I think we probably aren't going to be friends with the Dawi at all, so can we make that treaty with the Blood Guzzlers? Have we not met them? We know of them, but we haven't met them. Those are my friend, the Blood Guzzlers. You know, they just guzzle. Hard life. I guess we'll be trying to make deals with the Karak Vrag Dawi then.
You dare approach a lord of the Dawi in
Listen. Listen, Gilbert. We do what we must. We could get a non-aggression. I'll just take all your money. We have an accord, but I curse your ancestors all the same. And I curse yours right back. There is no way we would make deals. But now we are in conflict with Grimgore, giving us 1,500 treasury and the Greenskin conflicts and extra leadership. Let's see if that dooms our campaign immediately. Oh, I'm here for it. Do we want to spend the labor on treasury, or do we want to spend it on making Ice Spear better faster? Let's spend it on making Blizzard Peak. No, Ice Spear. And then we can go ahead and take Ice Spear up to the next tier for 7,500 for the Overseer's Tower. That is expensive. I really just want to be greedy and go for the Money Pit. Greedy Chaos Dwarves. Alright, that didn't really change that much. We still could go for the upgrade to the mine shaft here. Increase our workload by 100, which we can handle for now. So let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll check on the mine shaft here too. Just make sure we don't go for one in Blizzard Peak just yet. Skip on through there, and then we'll end the turn. Anxiously. Alright, the Imperial Wardens are no more. Our pandemic preparations are done, so we got a little bit more undivided corruption, so there's always work to do. Sickness is a weakness of the industrial machine. Now we're on to the Brazen Bodyguard. Orders is up to rank 10, that's awesome. Looks like Grutter here is just sitting to recruit, which is fair and scary. Not having our artillery ourselves just yet is a little bit spooky. Can we grab ourselves any help? Army ability, armor of contempt. 30 extra armor, 24 melee defense for an area. That's pretty dang great. Grades, wins. So I think you only get the Dreadquake stuff up here in tier 2. Yeah, there's the Dreadquake battery. Alright, well this one's only going to give us more income, which is very useful. But let's go ahead and make sure we've got armor of contempt. Even though we are going to be giving up this slot, hopefully someone goes ahead and claims that seat before too long. But getting that army ability is going to help us survive against the greenskins, because ours are just laborers. They've got no armor and no melee capabilities really at all. Grab that final point and to shoot them. Alright, now I think we need to try to lure them towards us. So we're going to have Bruce come on into in-camp stance.
Stroll, hurry!
Stroll, hurry.
Moving.
We need to get to where we can threaten the next settlement, while also not being foolish. So if we can threaten Gorger Rock, we know that The greenskins are kind of split up, so we're not really sure exactly where they're coming from. They could come all the way up this path and attack from this side, which we really wouldn't have a defense for. Really don't have a defense for that at all. Alright, but we can upgrade Uzkulak, so we're going to go ahead and take this up to a battlement. From atop the tower walls, the Dalrizar can fend off attacks from just about anyone, preventing the foe from gaining a foothold in their sacred territory. Indeed, indeed. We have Conclave Dominance, we get even more on Conclave Influence. Well, that's fantastic. Workload looks to be very good. I don't think we're going to go ahead and do any labor actions for this turn. 316 armaments. Beautiful stuff. Come on, Astragoth, let's get this ambush. So, Bruce, while you're here, let's go ahead and get us... They take several turns to get... Ooh, 4 turns to get the Bull Centaur renders. That's a big gross. What we'll do instead, we'll come through Global and we'll grab a couple of these Bow Wolf Riders. 2 of them, and then 1 Sneaky Git. Sounds good. And we'll end the turn. 2 more turns till you have arrived in the Wizard Caleb's palace, bringing us back... It looks like it said he was bringing us back money, but it looks like he's bringing us back labor now, so it's changed since then. So every certain amount of turns, you can see up here, in 5 more turns, the resources that you can send out and receive are going to change on all of the different destinations. Right, well that's the turn. Sneaky. Alright, my rival, the Warhost of Czar, has finally claimed a seat. Thank goodness. Astragoth's ambush was foiled. We've gained Constructor on both of them, and we've got ourselves a Veteran Overseer. Local province gains 2 additional control. Control's looking fine back in Uzkulak. 1 turn before we've got quite a bit more labor out and running, so it's going to need 100 more to be at 550. If we send some back, we'll be at 600. Let's go ahead and make sure we go for the fight first, before we do anything goofy there. Alright, Astragoth, time to move in on Gorger Rock. I don't see any other greenskins anywhere. We'll be smart, though, and send Bruce up first in the camp stance. His group of goblin laborers and such go down. That's not that big a deal. We can easily rebuild that army. Alright, so it's Astragoth here, and we'll move in on Grutter. Ah, there's Grievous, the Spider Killer. Definitely one we're going to want to fight to maximize our, or I guess minimize our casualties. Maximize damage. Got a nice choke point here. Don't really have a whole bunch to take super advantage of it. We just need our goblins to kind of hold the line. And we'll want to bring our renders in pretty quickly this time. In fact, we actually might want to pull back to a smaller choke point. That way there's less orcs that can bash our goblins at the same time. The field. Alright, so we are going to go for, let's start deployment. We could also set up over here and force them along this track. Because the mountains don't give us a lot of... Unless we're kind of deploying between these two. We're going to be ceding the high ground to them. Although we also get the high ground back when we have our renders wrap around. So I do think we're going to deploy kind of between these 2 mountains here. So let's go ahead and do... How do we do this? We've got these rivers to take advantage of, and not doing so would be foolish. Here's what we'll do instead. Go ahead and pull shotguns to about here. We're going to have them retreat a bit. Have the other shotguns at the other end of their kind of valley there. Even if they're standing in the water, that should be fine. They're in charge of just obliterating anything that comes down the path there. Beautiful. We have our Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, which I am going to deploy just on the edge of the Blunderbuss's firing arc. Kind of like so. I'm going to pull these other Blunderbusses back just slightly. So whether you're up the hill or something similar. Alright, so we'll have the other sneaky gits. We want them being the flank that the enemy doesn't know exists. We'll have the goblin laborers in the water. Going to block anyone from getting up to them. And if they get shot by shotguns, so be it. Laborers in here as well. Alright, perfect. Then we have all of our bows. There's going to be so many enemies, we're going to want to keep them kind of all together, so bows here. Yes, Dwarf great weapons will be deployed behind. Door does, I think we'll also kind of keep back with the main group, just in case. Rook. You three are going to be aggressive. We'll have the Red Bull waiting for anyone to be exposed on the other side there, and then Agla Khan's boys can kind of be behind. Alright, so let's grab all of our main characters. Infantry, and then the missiles. Alright, this is not going to be a very sturdy line until our extra reinforcements show up, so let's get the battle going. We'll go ahead and pull you guys. And infections, they're gonna have other reinforcement coming in already. But take the hill here. Spread the goblins out. Orcs, get ready. You three, Kolar, you we'll send this group on across. Sneaky gets, you're actually in a pretty good spot. Orcs. Go ahead and pull some of these archers up to the kind of the top positions here. They use Diswaz. Our warriors a bit. There we go. Agla Khans. Calzogus gets. And they advance. Mash him one finger the named gobos. We could probably run these goblins here down with little concern. We are going uphill though, so let's go ahead and wait till they're down. So much so we're gonna go after these orc boys instead. That should be very brutal there. We'll go ahead and have them. We're gonna go after these orc boys. Keep moving along. Come on, get the those more boys dealt with. We'll have them push through. We've got all of the extra lads coming on in now. Let's go ahead and just start deploying the goblins. In stacks there. Gobos rule. Khans, get out of there. Everyone else get out of there as well. We got both of the other wolf riders, which we'll send this way to harass these boar boys. The R squad to come on away, try to hunt down these boar boys. Slowed down, which fair enough. We can do that right back though. Just to allow our troops to escape. You and the Toruk turn. Moved a few of the units in to notice our gobos, but now they're getting shot to pieces by shotguns. Red Bull, you deal here. What you deal in is death. Alright, push through and hunt down the war boss. Bring the archers around. We're going to send the Taruk, or the Renders in to maul these orc boys here. We're going to go ahead and give this whole group the Armor of Contempt. Beautiful. This orc war boss is destroyed. moving. That poise extra fire damage can be really mean. Send them this way. I guess we have all the Hobgoblin Cutthroats too. Let's go central. Have you take out that Lord again. All back there, my Wolf Riders. Move up and start having that flare pistol fire in so we get extra damage. Orc boys get in there. Red Bull is dashing around like an absolute champion. Are firing on our shotguns, but only briefly. The Orc boys caught this group, so let's go ahead and just kind of bring them around. The Rook can jump in there on them. Let this group down. Astragoth, keep hunting down this war boss. Let's go ahead and give the sneaky kids can get now. They're gonna get taken out. Give the cutthroats a little bit more damage. I got them bogged into a lot of enemies at the same time. Try to power through. They're likely not going to do a very good job of it though. Don't want to advance too far. We want our shotguns to be able to keep blasting in. We'll send these guys up this flank, though. Rook, push your way through the center. Archers, you do kind of the same thing. Go after the middle group of archers there. Oh, I'm going to lose all of them. Come on. Get your way out of combat. Even if 2 renders survive, we get to keep them. A big mistake letting them take the brunt of the fighting. That should have been all up on our goblins' job. Alright, start sitting in the laborers. The Chaos Dwarves as well. Love to see this orc boss coming on back in. Oh, there's 2 orc bosses in there stopping you, so let's go ahead and pull back, let the cutthroats step in. Pull all of our wolf riders back. Fire on whoever they can. You go ahead and come on back in and clobber. Rook, we really need you to come on back after one of these heroes over here. Armor of Contempt for everyone fighting against the heroes. We got 3 renders, but we left them in a couple fights that they shouldn't have been in. For as long as they were. Got them. The shotguns aren't really necessary anymore. They're probably going to get more friendly fire shots than anything else. That looks to be that group broken. We'll bring our Lord over with his spear leeches. Well, as we could have been using them way sooner. There we go, we got him. No problem. Just so many orcs. Our little Centaur renders are pretty beat up, but hopefully we can replenish them nicely after this battle here. Catch you in a moment. Alright, we'll take a close victory. We did almost lose a few of our units, including our Bull Centaur Ridders, but everyone makes it through that battle alright. We only gained 283 labor from the fighting. It's really not that great, all things considered. We'll go ahead and... I think we're just going to sack the Gorger Rock. You're going to try to fall back. Bunch of enemies slain, and a Wa army defeated as well. We won't be able to make it far, though. We did use most of our movement just getting into this territory here. Alright, so I guess we're stuck here. Unfortunate. Let's at least start falling back.
Orakrek.
There we are. And back over here in the Hellforge, we have 10 things we can go ahead and increase. And that would be great. We have not a lot of buildings to do any kind of military recruitment right now. We do need to kind of fall back and let the greenskins come to us for just a moment. They're likely going to succeed their Watts. It's probably taking down a correct frag here, even if it's not showing the glowing green. You have a lot, actually, quite a bit more labor to throw around. Yeah, we could go ahead and see which tower they've claimed. They both claimed a tower. Cardinal Demon Smith, so less upgrades for all unit capacity upgrades. It's a very good one, or yes, less cost that is. And then Zatan has the Thaumaturge, even though he doesn't really have that many mages, unless he's rolling with only mage lords, which fair enough. Sorcery districts, what they're going for. I guess they want that 10% extra research rate. Fair enough, fair enough. So in the Saber Mountain, we're going to need 100 more labor before too long. Let's go ahead and just send those guys on back. On this side, we're also going to need 550. We can go ahead and send them back as well. So back to Zarnagrund. Captives. Is your only fate. Get locked stores here. I think we're good to go. We can start building up another army over here in Zorno's Kulsklok. That might be a good idea. It's gonna be a lot in upkeep though. But for now, we'll just keep with Astragoth and company. Master of the Conclave is going to further give us more diplomatic relations. Less diplomatic, or less upkeep, rather, for renders. Armament costs for increasing their capacities goes down as well, and more armor piercing. Will be good for here in just a moment. Dropping enemy winds of magic, and then Infernal Lord, +2 capacity for all heroes. Heroine Lord rank faction-wide, +3. Let's go for Master of the Conclave for that extra diplomatic relation boost, and then probably want... Ooh, it's a tough call. Architect of Evil does drop their upkeep. And they're pretty expensive, but we only have the one unit right now. Bound, Spell of Burning Wrath. Let's just continue to go down his blue line so we get towards Unbridled Cruelty here. So let's go for... I guess a point of Lightning Strike with all of these walls we're dealing with. We'll snag that final point into... Ooh, not seeing red. Frenzy's so good. Grab the passive of Frenzy, and then we'll get... Probably dodge them. For more melee defense. 10% more weapon strength. I mean... We just want them to stay alive. Look at that melee defense.
Doomskull Key.
Bruce will give you a life leeching. Exactly. So now we try to fall back and rebuild our forces. I don't mind even sitting up and getting a couple of the Bull Centaur, or at least one of the Bull Centaur renders through Global. It's just going to take 4 turns, so we have to really play defense. Because the Greenskins will get aggressive. Especially once they take down Correct Rag here with this army. Oh yeah, that's going to be no problem. That is so many RORs already. Alright, well, let's check diplomacy just real fast. Ramadi wants a non-aggression. Scaling would... We're thinking about trading. We could go ahead and join their war with the Great Orthodoxy for trade.
Always ready for a headbutting contest.
So trade, I'll join your war with the Orthodoxy, and let's see if they come over here after us. Ooh, he says no. What if I join your war with the Black Pit tribe? Well, that one he likes. Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and take this, then. That's going to be maximum gold. Good, our gods visit upon us many blessings this night. Sign, they are in favor of this. They've got a whole bunch more spawn than they did previously. Military access with the Maggot host. Getting some of Nurgle on our team is not necessarily a bad call. Since he doesn't count as Warriors of Chaos like the other original Festus the Leech Lord, you're actually going to be able to get proper Nurgle units instead of what you get from him. Alright, let's check real quick on our labor. 186 there. No, everything's all good to go. Sweet. We shall likely go ahead and end the turn there. to watch Hellhind go away. Right. Where's the Czar? I guess they were saving to see what we claimed, and now they're starting to claim seats left and right. A souvenir from the desert. It is said that there's a little about the art of sorcery that the one known as Wizard of Caliph does not know. Avoiding the curses of his palace, your convoy returns from Araby unscathed and successful in its dealings, with a treasure of the Caliph among its goods. So we've got Eternal Servitude for more movement range. This servant will never perish and will always do as commanded. And then we've got a Kimrian War Sphinx for that convoy, which would be a fantastic unit. We've completed up a military convoy, so we have even more capacity now for 10 turns and more armaments. Not bad, not bad. The Savage blows on in, which means that work's going to be nice and dangerous. Great, so we'll go ahead and give the Eternal Servitude over here to Astragoth. No, you don't need that. Get that out of here. Full Centaur Guardian, the Veteran Overseer, and then the Kadai Hellsmith we don't really need because we don't have any Kadai just yet. But for the Overseer... Chance of intercepts being an ambush is a really good one to make sure we have. We're just going to go ahead and start off with more capacity. Alright, with that, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and upgrade a Saber Mountain up to the ramparts. Overseer's Tower there is just not what I would call worth it. Stores in Blizzard Peak sound good though, although another one where the enemy is pretty close. Let's see real quick using Bruce. If there's any armies here in Eagle Ares. There are not. What we'll do is we'll have Astragoth kind of fall back in in-camp stance. And we'll have him start grabbing in some more elite units. So the Bull Centaur Renders will take a full 4 turns. But if they're just going to sit there and allow that to attrition down, I think grabbing these Renders now is going to be definitely worth it. So let's go ahead and get rid of someone here. Maybe these Goblin Laborers. Keeping the Orc Laborers, they cost more, but their armor piercing makes them much better. So I can get rid of these Goblin Laborers. Grab the Renders. Get rid of these Laborers. And get an additional unit of Great Weapons. Maybe our first kind of actual... Only having one hold the line unit is a bit spooky, but we can grab one of these guys here. Take 2 turns. We'll have Bruce do some raiding. If you get caught, we're in trouble. Let's real quick find out. Kevin, do you give us any more spreading control and giving us training? Training right now not as useful as just knowing what's down here. I don't think there's anyone here at the Eagle Ares. His strength rank is number 1. He has 6 settlements. Oh, so his settlements are all down here. He's been bullying Grimgor, or Greasus, that is. Ah, so we're about to get jumped. Okay, well, we definitely need to kind of leave. Just down a little bit further there, Toruk. Yeah, there's no one there. What we might do is next turn we'll have Bruce raise the Gorger Rock to give us a little bit of a fire break, because they're going to come spilling through quite soon. Yeah, he's just letting them attrition down. This is a little bit spooky. Go ahead and give us another access to some more Renders. Alright then. Very limited gold we have left here. We can upgrade the locked stores in Blizzard Peak. Put in the Garrison Outpost as well, so let's go ahead and definitely put in the Garrison Outpost. I don't think we'll do both, but we will go for the upgrade to Saber Mountain. And we'll pass our turn. But as we do pass our turn, this is going to be all the time I've got for today. I have been at Space Was a Total War. Thank you all so much for stopping by today's Astragoth Ironhand campaign. If you all enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like for the like god and a sub for the sub throw. Let's do the next one.